Greetings, Najee Desai, Chief Supreme Being. I'm back at you again with another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to tell you the top 10 questions I get asked most as a vegan. So let's get into the video.
So what made you go vegan?
What made me go vegan at first was health reasons. To be honest with you, I was sitting down with my family. My son recommended a good documentary called What the Health. If you haven't seen that documentary, I highly recommend that you check it out. So it definitely did start off with the health reasons and all the different health implications that, come to us from consuming animal products. And then as I got more into it, because anytime I'm into something, I dive deep, you know what I mean? I want to find out all the information. Then I began to see how the animals are treated, the living conditions that they're in, and the fact that we don't really even need to eat meat to begin with. So why are we torturing all these animals? Animals have a soul just like we do, you know what I mean? All of life is energy. So whenever you're consuming these tortured beings and things like that, you're taking on that energy. Whenever you go to the store or a fast food restaurant and you pay for that meal, you're paying these people to torture these animals. You're paying for their murder. And I just couldn't be down with that anymore. Next question.
What the fuck is a vegan?
Okay, so a vegan is a person who does not consume any animal products whatsoever. They do not support animal exploitation of any kind. It's a little bit different than just being plant-based. A plant-based person has the same diet as a vegan, but they don't have the same ethics. Okay, a vegan is an ethical standpoint on how you treat other living beings, essentially. Next question.
I wanted to go vegan, but it's too restrictive.
Now, if you think about it, it's really not restrictive. Okay, the only thing that you're giving up is meat, eggs, and dairy, essentially. Okay, and if you consume meat, you probably only consume a few types of meat: chickens, pigs, cows. You might consume sheep, probably fish and things of that nature as well. But when I went vegan, I've tried more foods than I've ever tried before in my life now. You know what I mean? There's things I never heard of, different plants. There are millions of edible plants available, you know what I'm saying? So it's really not restrictive. You're actually gonna probably try a whole bunch of new things that you never even heard of. Next question.
That's the same as a vegetarian, right?
Well, vegetarian, technically, no, it's not. Because vegetarians simply don't consume flesh, the meat. But a vegan and people that are plant-based, we do not consume eggs or dairy, and a vegetarian does.
You still eat fish, right?
So I get this question asked a lot. I don't understand why, but a lot of people don't believe that fish are animals. They say fish are animals. I mean, they're real confused. But yeah, fish is an animal. It does have a heartbeat. They do have sentience. The level of intelligence a fish has, I don't know. You know what I mean? Some fish are definitely a lot smarter than others. Yeah, fish are still animals. And no, I do not consume fish as a vegan.
I bet you miss eating all this good ass meat, huh?
Now, for real, I don't. Not one bit. Not whatsoever, okay? The first 3 weeks of me being vegan, it was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? It was hard because eating meat, it becomes an addiction. You understand what I'm saying? In the intestines, okay, you got these different parasites. You got this bad bacteria that they're emitting chemicals through your bloodstream that are going to hijack your brain and tell you what to eat. So the things that you're craving, that the cheese and the meat, the fried meat, fried chicken, all that, that's not even necessarily you craving that. That's these alien entities living inside your gut. You understand what I'm saying? So after about 3 weeks, I think it took about 3 weeks for me, okay, to kill off that bacteria, okay? And then you're gonna get a whole new type of bacteria. You wanna consume a lot of fiber. It's gonna help clean you out, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna promote the growth of the good bacteria. And then you're gonna start to crave healthier food. I get sick thinking about putting meat in my mouth. I don't care what it smells like. Them good smells you typically smell from meat are typically the seasonings. And what are seasonings? Seasonings are plants. So even though it might smell good sometimes, just the thought of putting it in my mouth, it makes me physically sick. Next question.
Okay, I want to be a vegan, but I don't know where to start.
Okay, so what I would suggest is that you definitely want to watch What the Health. There's a couple other videos on YouTube I highly recommend. Dominion, Earthlings, and just start searching up vegan documentaries and see what it is that you're actually putting in your body. Research the different doctors and things like that. And if that's not enough, you know, the only thing I could tell you is give it 3 weeks and consume a lot of fiber. You know, kill off that bad bacteria and try to rid your body of those bad parasites, the parasites within your gut. And then once that happens, they won't be hijacking your brain, essentially. So I'm a visual learner myself. You definitely want to check out some animal slaughterhouse videos. You know what I mean? Why would you want to watch that? Well, you need to know how your food is prepared. You need to know how it gets to your plate. You know what I mean? A lot of people have no idea what really occurs in these places. It's pretty sick. It's pretty demonic. It's like a giant blood sacrifice. We do not honor these beings' lives whatsoever. So once you see that, you probably will not want to stand for the injustice. And if you do, you know, you need to just watch some health documentaries and things of that nature and see how it affects your heart, see how it affects, you know, your blood, everything like that, your arteries. So that's my advice on that. Next question.
Where do you get your protein?
My protein, okay, so look, check this out. This is a big one. A lot of people ask, where do you get your protein? All right, so my protein, okay, where do you think the animals that you're consuming get their protein? Like a cow, for instance, is basically a vegan, okay? You're getting protein from the plants, okay? Proteins come from the earth, okay? Plants create proteins. That's where protein originates from. It doesn't originate with the animal, it originates with the plants. The animal has to eat those plants to assimilate it into its body. Then when we consume animals, we assimilate the protein. So you do not need animal flesh to get your protein, thank God. You know what I mean? All the different plants and things like that, you're gonna get enough protein. In fact, most vegans actually have higher nutrients that they need, the necessary nutrients in their body, than non-vegans. So you're actually probably most likely going to be in a better situation unless you're just eating Oreos and drinking Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? If you're actually eating whole foods, different plants, you know, your fruits and vegetables, your grains, your seeds and nuts, you're going to be good to go. Next question.
If we didn't eat meat, there would be too many animals. Do you care about the environment?
Okay, so the reason that there are so many animals, we're artificially inseminating animals. We're artificially breeding these animals in unnatural numbers that wouldn't happen in nature. You know what I'm saying? There's factory farms, okay? We're having these large amounts of animals in a small space, okay? They're pumping semen into the vagina of these different animals. They're putting, like a cow, for instance, they shove their fist up the anus of the cow to loosen up the area, and then they artificially inseminate it with the bull's semen, okay? So there's actually an artificially high number of these animals right now as it is. So we would actually see a decline of these animals because there's an unnatural number of them. Next question.
How do you get calcium if you don't drink milk?
It's the same thing with the protein, okay? The calcium actually comes from the plants that we're consuming. It comes from the earth. Calcium is an element from the earth. Plants assimilate the elements from the earth into their being, okay? So when we consume those plants, we as well are going to assimilate these elements, okay? But we don't typically want to go grab a pile of dirt and start eating that. I mean, it might work out for you, I don't know, but the plant knows what it needs. You might be getting something that you don't need from soil, but a plant knows what it needs. So whenever we eat that plant, we're getting what we need from it. So calcium is no issue. And in fact, the countries that consume the most amount of dairy products, they actually have the highest rates of osteoporosis and bone fractures, okay? So if you want weak bones, you want to consume a lot of dairy products, because what it's going to do is going to acidify the blood. It's going to acidify the system, okay, with that excess amount of protein from the casein, okay? And then your body is pretty damn smart. What it'll do is to fix the problem, it needs to make it more alkaline, okay? And calcium is an alkaline element. Okay, so where are you gonna get the calcium to help make the blood more alkaline? Your bones. Your bones have a lot of calcium, so it's gonna draw that calcium out of your bones into your bloodstream to try to correct the problem. So if you want weak bones, keep continuing to consume high amounts of dairy products. I hope that was helpful for, you know, my friends and family, y'all out there in YouTube world, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you might be that had any type of questions about veganism. Those are the top 10 I get asked. You know, those are the most frequently asked questions that I get, and you know, other people that I know that are vegan get asked as well. So I hope that it was helpful for you. You know, I do want to grant us peace, blessings, wisdom, and overstanding in Sham Hara. I hope that you guys have a blessed day. I'll catch you later.